Here's the mess we've got going on today. I need a little bit more lighting up here, which I've already done over here. Nice and bright. So I need that area to match this area. First, I'd like to apologize for any wind noise you may hear. I've got the garage door partially open. It's actually really nice for November 5th, kind of surprising, and just wanted to take advantage of the weather we're having right now. Currently, I'm lighting my garage with 8 of the LED fluorescent style bulbs, and it's pretty well lit for the most part. But there are 2 areas in my garage which are kind of dim, and those are some of the most important areas. This right here being one of those areas. Now, I currently have one of these new lights up, and it makes a world of difference. But the other area in my garage over there is still pretty dim, and that's where I do all the assembly videos, whether it be any kind of furniture or motorcycle builds, all that. And I've always had to use like shop lights, or lately I've been using some soft boxes, which somewhat get the job done, but they're kind of cumbersome and not a whole lot of fun to deal with. Recently, I was contacted by Lighting Ever, or they go by LE, and they asked me to do a couple of flashlight reviews. I have one of those up, but I also wanted to review a couple of their other lights. And what you see here is what they call a UFO style LED light. Currently, I use the 3-car garage attached to my home as my shop space. It's roughly 900 square feet. And they informed me that 2 of these 60-watt models should do the trick. Now, these type of lights you'll sometimes see in industrial scenes. You'll see them in warehouses, and they come in a variety of sizes. Now, obviously, I've already removed it from the box, so let's show you what you actually get. You get the light itself, right here, and you get a user guide, and then you get a warranty card. And the user guide not only gives you the specifications, but also shows you how to mount the light. Dimensions on this 60-watt model you see here are as follows. You got 14.17 inches round, or wide, and 7 inches tall. And also you get some general troubleshooting tips as well as routine maintenance. And there's really no maintenance involved with the light other than keeping these fins clean. These are actually cooling fins all around this light. The input voltage is 100 to 240 volts, so whether you've got 110 or a 220 outlet, you can use this light. The fins are made out of aluminum, and the actual light is glass. The equivalent to 7200 lumens. Color temperature is 5000 to 5700 K. And the color we have here is daylight white. And since it is aluminum, you don't have to worry about rust. Going back to the waterproofing. So if you want to put this in a pool area, perfectly fine. One light will cover an area of 430 to 516 square feet. Now that's general lighting, which is what I'm kind of using it for here. And that's in an area mounted 13 to 20 feet. Mine's a little lower, so it's a little bit more intense, but it's a more narrow focus since it's a little lower down at 9.5 feet. And that's at 150 lux. Now, if you've got it lower, like I do, at 9.5, probably 9 feet after mounting, maybe a little less, and you're getting 215 to 258 square feet at that. Remember I spoke about the more focused area? Well, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. But I have other lighting compensate for that. Now here's a look at the light itself. You can see those nice aluminum fins all the way around, and then of course the light itself. Now the specifications say this is glass. It feels like plastic to me, and that's fine as long as it doesn't melt. And so far I've ran into no issues with this light. I've had one of these up for about a week now, the one right above us, and I've noticed no heat, and it's on whenever my other lights are on, which are pretty often. Me and the grandson are out here pretty often. We actually come out in the garage and we go ride our bikes. We just leave the door open and the light's on for hours at a time. Has not burned out, has not gotten hot. I've noticed nothing. And as mentioned earlier, normally in this area that I'm at right now, I had to use 2 lights. I used the softbox and I used the standard work light. Now when you get this light, you're going to need to do a little bit of work. There is no plug included. And the reason for that are the different voltages, so you're going to have different plugs, and also if you're going to hardwire it in. So to spend the extra money to put a plug on there doesn't make sense, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to hardwire, or you may have 240, whatever. Could be a different country, you're going to have a different style plug altogether. So in my opinion, it's a lot better to just ship the unit without a plug. And you're going to need to find a way to mount it. Now there is a hole right here which is where you would put a hook into the ceiling or a chain. It does come with some chain right here. You could certainly use that. We're going to use hooks. Now you probably won't be able to tell in this video how bright this actually is, but this is the current light we have up. We were just filming right below. You can see how bright it is compared to the LED fluorescent style light back there. The area we're going to be focusing on today is right over here. This is the area we just looked at. See how bright? This is the area we're dealing with. It's not bad, but when you're on the ground working on something such as a mini bike or something like that, you can see we don't have a whole lot of light beaming down on us. You could certainly put it right here between the lights and the bikes, but I don't do a lot of work in that area. And now we have no lights on. Now this is the light that's been up for about a week. You can see I've actually just got it tied into my fluorescent lights. Yes, that's probably not up to code, but I don't really care. I do have an outlet right there, which is for another garage door opener, and that light is always on. Now I could certainly put it on a switch over there, but that garage door opener outlet is tied into that one. Whenever my wife wanted to use the garage door opener, she'd have to flip a switch, which would also turn the lights on, and that would just be a big mess. So essentially I'd have to leave the lights on all the time, and I don't want to do that. So what we did is we just got some conduit. These fluorescents already have places for them. Put a little junction box there and wired it in. Now the first thing we've done is pre-drilled a hole into one of our floor joists right here where we're going to hang the actual light. And I'm just going to be using one of these hooks you can find at your local hardware store. They run about 70 cents. And this is a pretty beefy one because again, that's 8 pounds. So you want to make sure you're holding this up pretty well. Go into it. Let's go ahead and hang the light. This is going to give us a general area where we need to run our conduit to and also install our box. There it is, nice and hung. And the reason why we have all the lights off in the garage right now, because we're going to actually tap into this light right here, which whenever I turn the lights on is obviously live. And I don't want to work with live electricity. So I'm not going to really show you that part because I'm not an electrician. So I wanted to try to give you somewhat of an idea what 2 of these lights would actually do by themselves. So I have all the other lights taken out over here and over there. I apologize for the camera being shaky. I do not have it in a tripod. I'm obviously walking around. And we have both garage doors closed. So this is just the lighting from those 2 lights. And I can tell you what, it would probably be enough just about for any shop. I'm going to put my other lights back up because I do have them, but I am really impressed that these 2 lights put out what basically 8 of these put out. And let's go ahead and turn these lights completely off. As you can see, there is no lighting in here at all. Both garage doors are closed. You can see some cracks in the bottom of the door there from the weather stripping, but there we are. I'm really impressed. Had I known this from the beginning, I would have saved my money from buying 8 of these because they were not cheap. And I'm truly impressed with these lights. I'm not just saying it because they sent them to me. I would have bought these knowing what I know now regardless. For me, it's a huge improvement. I don't have to break out 2 to 3 sets of lights to work on this bench, and I don't have to break out any other lights to actually film on YouTube. So it makes filming a project a little bit easier for me because I don't have to set anything up. I just set the camera up, set the project out, and start working. If you're in the market for some new shop lights, garage lights, warehouse lights, whatever it may be, I would highly recommend the LED lights. They have a variety of models. These are the 60 watt models. You can get 50, you can get 120. Be sure to check out the description below the video. I'll have links to this particular light as well as their other lights. And don't be like me and think, man, I can get a light cheaper somewhere else. Give you an example. I have 4 of these strip lights. They are not as bright as 1 of these lights. So how much are you really saving? If I would have known that 2 of these lights would easily replace 8 of my strip lights, I would have gotten these from the beginning. And as always, thanks for watching.